Hey everyone, good morning to you. Happy Thursday. Thanks for being with us for a CBS 8 Plus extended forecast. I'm Evan Nurani, and it is going to be another hot one out across San Diego County, but we have an end in sight to this heat, and that means that the excessive heat warning that's in effect across the entirety of San Diego County, with the exception of the coastline, that excessive heat warning will expire tonight. It will stay in effect for the deserts for one more day, and then tomorrow night expire for the deserts. Well, let's talk about the coast exclusively, because that continues to be the coolest spot in the county and the most comfortable spot in the county, with cloud cover overhead that tends to stick around for a good portion of the day. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds for pretty much the entirety of it. Temperatures expected to peak in the upper 70s out there. You can see how for now, to start off the morning hours, we're mostly in the 60s, and we'll return to the 60s pretty quickly into the evening hours by about 8 p.m. or so. Now, as those temperatures finally start to cool, you can notice that downward trend. And this is why we're talking about the expiration of all of those weather alerts. So weather impact days coming to an end as of tomorrow at the latest, in many cases today, and that's because those temperatures are finally sliding back to normal. So in the meantime, for today and tomorrow, it's still suggested that you limit the time that you're spending out there doing strenuous activity between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. If you want to get the long run in, the hike, whatever it is, absolutely, still enjoy it. We, of course, are in San Diego after all, and we're not suggesting that you don't spend time outside, but what we suggest is that you limit it to outside of these hours. So after 5 p.m. or before 10 a.m., just because this is going to be your hottest window, the time that you're most likely to be impacted by any weather-related issues. That's going to be heat stroke, heat exhaustion, and so will your pets. So please leave the pets indoors with the AC if you can. And then, of course, have a cooling center nearby if you need to head that way. So stay cool, drink plenty of water, again, and follow the same directions with all the pets. High temperatures are going to be in the 80s, the 90s as you make your way east. 95 for Julian is that afternoon high. 92 for Alpine. You get closer to the coastline and you find those more mild temperatures in the 70s, some 80s out there along the water. It's very comfortable for the most part. And there's no change in that for your coastal communities. You can see how on the 7-day forecast, we continue with partly cloudy skies, mainly through the AM stretch that break apart by the PM hours. Temperatures are going to stay in the 70s through and through. No change in that sense. Weather impact day today. That's the final one that we have on the next 7 days. That's because that excessive heat warning expires after today. And we start to see those temperatures finally take a slide down to the mid 80s, the maybe low 80s as we start to get into next week. There are at least going to be parts of the county, because these are generally averages for your inland valleys. So the closer you are to the coastline, the cooler you're going to be. The eastern valleys that we see closer to the mountains tend to warm up a little bit more. When we talk about the mountains, here's what we got. 90s across the board. Going to cool down to the low 90s though. As we get across the deserts, 118 this afternoon starts to cool down to 109. So for the mountains and deserts, we will drop by about 10 degrees. Also makes sense considering we have generally been about 10 degrees warmer than average. So we'll still generally be around average, maybe a few degrees above average going into next week, but we at least simmer down a bit. Don't see as much of an impact related to this heat across the county. It is still summer after all, so you should be practicing those same tips of keeping water with you, having shade nearby, having sunscreen on you, no matter what. But it's just especially prevalent that you would run into these heat-related issues for now, for the next couple days. Into the weekend, enjoy it, have a blast out there, get to the beach. I mean, it's still a wonderful time to be out there along the coastline. If you want more information, you can head to our website at cbs8.com/weather. In the meantime, I'm Evan Nurani. Have a great Thursday.